Okay, I'll have to apologise because lately I've been quite busy with a number of other things, had a lot on my mind, so I've not really been able to keep up doing as much on this project as I would have liked to. So here's a few updates. Some people would possibly have seen some of the photos I've posted around the web in a few places lately, but here's a bit of an update video. I'll probably keep this pretty short, if that's possible for me, I don't know, but anyway. Yeah, so as you can see there, I've got the suspension components bolted together now, and I've got the traverse mount sat on there. It's not bolted down yet, it's just free floating at the moment. I've got some paint on it. I've also fixed the Trillian Blocks on it, as you can see there. They're basically some about 1 centimetre thick steel bar, which I basically cut a square, drilled a hole through the centre of the I basically cut a square, drilled a hole through the centre of the square, then cut the square in half, leaving a 1/2 inch hole in the middle of it. If I show you it from the side view, let's see, right, you can see better what they look like now. Yeah, so as I say, it was a square of steel about 1 centimetre thick and around about 3 centimetres square, maybe a bit more, maybe about 4 centimetres square. And I drilled a hole through the centre, which was 1/2 inch in diameter. Then I've sawn them in half. Then what I've done is I've drilled 2 holes, which are possibly around 4.5mm holes, all the way down. Which one am I looking at? There. Right, all the way down through the metal, and then I've tapped it with an M6 thread in all 4 points, and they are now welded on. I've welded them on the hang on, yeah, I've welded them on here at the front, at the back and central underneath it, and the threads run straight through the block. So these are the Trillian blocks, or Trillian mounts. So it then will have a gun cradle which will swivel in these Trillian blocks, and then I've got to mount all the other, well, build and mount all the other parts, the barrel and so on. So yeah, it's coming together. These are for the small shields down below the main shield. Now they're mid shields, I suppose you should call them. Now, as I was saying before, there's the suspension. It's gone together quite well. Let me just collapse some of this tripod. Yeah, so you can see how the suspensions work. Yeah, it's come out quite well. The hubs also look quite good on this. They are trailer hubs, and these are Land Rover wheels, if anyone's not knowing what they are. So 6.5 pitch circle, 6.5 inch pitch circle diameter Land Rover wheels and hubs. Well, the hubs aren't Land Rover, the hubs are trailer wheels, trailer hubs with Land Rover wheels fitted. Yeah, so the trails, I suspect I might be cutting a little bit off them, and they should be, oh, I can't think of the length now, possibly 2.25 meters in length, maybe a touch more. I'd have to look up the spec again that I worked out. Yeah, that's the lower shield. It's also 1/4 inch plate, galvanized. Now this grey finish on it, sort of like duck egg, is like an acid etch primer which bonds to the zinc galvanizing on the plate. If you're working on any aluminium or zinc, you should really use a decent etch primer, otherwise it'll just scratch off very easily. BBs in an airsoft game would take the paint off. Yeah, so what I might do is I might also just fit the shield on so you can see how that looks. What do you say, Puss? Yeah. Oh, this thing's heavy. Hold it on with 3 M10 bolts. It's got a lot of wet paint on this at the moment, so I'm trying not to get it on myself. Yeah, I've just noticed I made a small mistake just here with the bearing blocks. The shield's not rocking back properly. I'm sure I'll find a way around that little problem. It may mean I've got to take the blocks off and move them back a bit. Oh well, that's life, isn't it? Yeah, that looks like what I'm going to have to do. Not out by much. It's about 1/8 of an inch. Just something I'll have to do. Right. Yeah. So it's coming together quite well. You see what it looks like from the rear. That's the small universal joint which mounts behind the dummy traverse mechanism. Basically it has a piece of studding which comes through here, and then this universal joint is going to be fixed onto it, probably just with a split pin running through, and then it'll have an extended shaft, a tube welded onto this square section which travels out, you know, and then fixes to various bits which come off this whatever we call it, the angel, as I was calling it in a previous video. Yeah, so so that's it from the rear. If I pick the two trails up, should be to move it quite easily. Once the trails are fixed together properly, then it should tow quite well, I would think. Anyway, that'll do for now.